Hey, good morning. This is Joe from Citrus County Porch Life bringing you the AA word of the day for January 4th, 2024. And the word for today is begin where you are. We feel that elimination of our drinking is but a beginning. A much more important demonstration of our principles lies before us in our respective homes, occupations, and affairs. And that is from the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, page 19. And here's the daily reflection. It is usually pretty easy for me to be pleasant to the people in AA setting. While I'm working to stay sober, I'm celebrating with my fellow AAs our common release from the hell of drinking. It's often not so hard to spread glad tidings to my old and new friends in the program. At home or at work, though, it can be a different story. It is in situations arising in both of those areas that the little day to day frustrations are most evident, and where it can be tough to smile or reach out with a kind word or an attentive ear. It's outside of AA rooms that I face the real test of the effectiveness of my walk through AA's 12 steps. Wow, that's a very powerful reading for the very beginning as we start the new year over in the daily reflections. And I always thought that the whole purpose of going to AA was that I could live in the world again and not be a jerk, be a productive citizen, be a good family member, be a good worker. And that's the goal. There's a saying, uh, don't don't become a dry drunk. And what's a dry drunk? That's probably someone that their goal was to stop drinking, and they did that. And all the character defects that they never worked on. So they're just that same person again, who's the only thing is they're not drinking. If they were prone to marital infidelity, they stopped drinking, but they're still doing that. Uh, if they're a jerk at work, they stop drinking, but they're still doing that, and they call that a dry drunk. Some of the people on a dry drunk don't even go to meetings. Uh, their one goal was to stop drinking. And as it says in this quote, we feel that the elimination of our drinking is but a beginning. And I agree wholeheartedly. We want to become a new person, an honest person, a fair person, and one who's cleaned up the wreckage of their past, who isn't creating any more wreckage, or if you do, you promptly admit it and take care of it. So that's an important concept rather than letting something slide, to take care of any problems you have right away. And it's such a good feeling. Yeah, I liken it to making out a to-do list where you put all the things that you don't want to do at the top, the hardest things to do. And when you get them done, your to-do list is very easy. And that's why I liken the program to that. That's just my take on it. And you may have gone, some people, they go to a step meeting, but then that's it. They don't continue to do the things that the step meetings tell you to do, and they don't do the making amends on a continual basis. And that's how we grow spiritually. We get past that, just like someone confessing sins. You do that, and then you start anew. Uh, Day-to-day frustrations are very real, very, very real. I went, uh, I went shopping, and of course, what happens with me is I make a list out, and the most important thing, even though I got it on the list, I don't get it. And I went and I had to get bread for toast because I like to have toast in the morning. I make an egg sandwich with a slice of cheese, and that's my breakfast. And so I went to the local store down here, which is a chain's named Publix, and not a loaf of bread to be found. I waited too long. I should have put together that most people are going to be grabbing stuff at the last minute for New Year's Eve parties. So I didn't have any bread. There was none to be found. I've never seen it like that. Even during COVID, uh, where the supply chain didn't allow many things in the store and shelves would be empty. This was totally empty. Every single piece of bread that you could think of was gone. So that was a frustration. But what are you going to do? Well, I had potatoes at home, so I had hash browns and eggs and no bread, and it was fine. My whole life didn't fall apart. I was perfectly okay. And it can be very tough to reach out and smile. And I got, I was right in the area that got badly hit by those two back to back hurricanes, and I do need work on my roof. They're going back and forth whether I need a whole roof or work on the roof. And I wasn't in the best of moods because it's impossible to talk to anyone. All you do is get these messages, that I'm away from my phone, I'll get back to you, and they never get back to you. And I just kept trying and getting more ticked off each time. And I finally got someone. I said, "You folks have never called me back." And I gave her the number. I said, "You sure you have a..." So she took the number down. She says, "That's on a no call list." I said, "What does that mean, no call list?" I said, "That's my home phone number. It's been my number since I moved to Florida 6 years ago." She said, "I don't know why it would be on there." She says, "That is listed as your home number." I said, "Why would I have a home phone number that you can't call?" I said, "How would I get any information from you?" And I could feel myself ratcheting up, and I might say something that I would regret and have to make amends for. So I calmed down, and I could see the frustration on her part. This is an insurance company, and there are so many people in much worse shape than I am as far as the house goes, and they're still waiting for their roofs to be fixed. Uh, I'm about five five miles in from the Gulf of Mexico, but up the street it's very low elevation. The houses got flooded, the roofs got blown off, Well, they got lifted up during the first hurricane, and then the second hurricane just took them off, and they needed. I'm not leaking. The guy got up there. He says everything looks intact, but it looks like a whole sheet of your roof tiles just came up. So I had to check myself before I went ballistic, and that wouldn't be fair for them. They're there to do a job, and that's how they support their family. And but it is frustrating. You have life's frustrations, and just now, as I do a daily word for men, and I do this in between the daily word for men and this taping. My cat was up in the plants. Usually, he just lays down. Well, he went to move a plant. I have one of those paddle plants, and he knocked the whole. It was a ceramic pot inside a ceramic pot. I tried to make it as heavy as I could so he couldn't do anything, and he knocked it over, and the whole thing smashed. The plant was saved, but that's a little frustration. And as it says here in the last sentence, it's outside of the AA rooms that I face the real test of the effectiveness of my walk through the AA 12 steps. The whole point of our program is that we can go out and become engaged in the world again and not isolate, become a human being. Uh, and I think that's happened to me. It's been a long, slow process. And I'm just happy I'm in AA. I can't get to as many meetings as I wanted, but I love this type of service. I love going over daily reflections, sharing with people my experience, strength, and hope. And I always used to say, I hope when I get older, I'll be a hot ticket. Well, I don't know if I am now, but I'm definitely older. You either don't get older and are in the grave, or you get older. So I'm just happy to be here and be of service. So I wish you all a very safe day, a sober day, and we will see you tomorrow. God bless.